Hello! In this iSolved training, we'll go over how to conduct NASDA performance reviews in iSolved. Before we begin, let's go over a couple of things that have happened with upgrading the evaluation process. The first thing is we've added a new metric rating system. So we have unsatisfactory, needs improvement, effective, highly effective, and exceptional. We've also added additional categories. And we've taken away some of the other categories and combined them to make it more unified and shorter, but also thorough. So we have job knowledge, quality of work, accountability, motivation, teamwork, and communication. If you visit the NASDA website, under Personnel Resources Handbooks, you can view a list of training materials. The videos that we have for the NASDA coaches or NASDA coordinators and supervisors are listed below here. And we also have written instructions. The NASDA enumerators and coaches also have videos and instructions for them as well. And this is all located under Personnel Resources Handbooks on the NASDA website. So let's go ahead and get started with the training. The first thing you want to do is you want to go to your iSolved sign-in page and put your supervisor or manager username and password in. Once you've logged on, you need to switch to either manager or supervisor view. And now the supervisor or manager dashboard is appearing. Please notice you've got three tabs on the left-hand side: Employee Management, Employee Self-Service, and Reporting. Employee Self-Service, of course, is where we check on timesheets and other miscellaneous items, and Reporting tab is where we run our reports. But for today's training, we are going to be working under the Employee Management tab. Under the Employee Management tab, you'll see another sub-tab that says Performance Reviews. Click that tab now. You've got three options: Schedule Review, Add Review, and Review History. The Schedule Review and the Add Review are the two options you can choose to actually go through a complete evaluation process. We're going to go over how to add review first, and then we'll go into Schedule Review. The difference between the two is the add review is you can complete the evaluation right then and there. Schedule review means that you can schedule it for a later date and come back to it. That's the only difference. So let's go with add review. Once I've clicked on the add review tab, my list of my employees are going to come up, and I'm going to select the employee that I would like to complete an evaluation on. Once I do that, it's going to bring me to the Add Review screen. It's going to ask me the review date, and if I want to put a next review date, I can put a period start date and a period end date. These three options are optional because it doesn't have an asterisk next to it. Anything with an asterisk next to it means it's a required field, and there has to be something in that field. So let's use the drop-down menu to select the review type. We have an annual review and a survey review. We're going to click annual review for today's purposes. And the next thing I'm going to do is use the drop down to select the type of evaluation that I'm going to be using. We have a supervisor evaluation, we have a field enumerator, a coach, and an office enumerator. For today's testing purposes, we're going to do field enumerator. Once I have that information in, I'm going to click Next. And you'll find Next in the left-hand corner on that blue bar. Okay, the evaluation is now beginning. We have our first question. If survey evaluation, please note survey name. So you will type your answer in the comment box and then click Next. The same thing with number of samples assigned. Type your answer in the comment box and click Next. Number of surveys completed. type your answer in the comment box and click Next. If you think that you've made a mistake or you want to see what you've put for a previous answer, you can always use the previous back button called Previous, and it takes you back to the questions that you've answered prior to the one you're on. Now I'm not going to go through all of these questions just because of time, but as we're going through them, some questions just require you to type an answer in the comment box, and then you click Next. Here is our first question that requires us to put a rating, and when you put a rating, you also need to add comments of why that you gave that person that rating. One thing I do want to mention is we have provided performance metric documents for all of the ratings for each performance evaluation. So if you go to the NASDA web page and you click Personnel Resources, and then come over in the left-hand side and click Handbooks, you can see that instructions are posted here, but also we have performance metrics documents for each performance review that we have in iSolved. So if we click on the field enumerator performance metric document, for each objective or category that we have you evaluating the employee on, we also show you what it means to be unsatisfactory, what it means to needs improvement, be effective, what does it mean to be a highly effective or exceptional. And you go through each category that we have on the evaluation that requires a rating. So I encourage you to use this document as you're going through the evaluation process to make sure that you are accurately and thoroughly evaluating the employee based on their performance. And this tells you exactly where they should be according to each rating. So I'm just going to kind of go through this. Again, you can find that at the NASDA NASHome webpage under Personnel Resources, Handbooks. So let's go back to iSolved, and we're going to give a rating for this. And then we're going to write a comment. So as you give a rating, you just don't give a rating, but please provide comments on why that person received that rating. And then you'll click Next. And at any one time during the process or after the process, you can click this button that says View. And it's basically going to pull up a PDF of the evaluation. So you can print it if you wish, or just kind of get a snapshot of what everything looks like, what you've entered so far. So you can see it has the employee's name, who it was reviewed by, your comments with the answers to the questions. You can see here it's captured our rating as well as our comments. So we'll go back to iSolved, and it's going to take you through each component, each category. You're going to give it a rating, click Next. It's going to ask you for an overall rating. Make sure you add your comment. Click Next. It's going to give you your overall rating, the points the employee earned. To finalize the review, you need to mark as complete. Mark as complete will then send the evaluation to the enumerator coach or supervisor for them to review and sign and acknowledge, and that will complete the evaluation process. So we're going to mark as complete, and that completes our process, our training on ad review. The next method, the way that you can complete an evaluation, is by scheduling a review. So if we click on the Schedule Review tab, we'll go to Add New here. It's a little bit different than when you do the ad review, but you go Add New, and you can enter a next review date, a period start date, and a period end date if you wish. It's optional. Remember, anything with an asterisk is required. So if you want this date to be different, You can click on the calendar here, or you can change it. We're going to use the drop down to select review type. We want to do an annual review. We're going to do a field enumerator performance evaluation. It tells me that the supervisor is the person that's going to be doing the reviewing. And then we click Save. But before I click Save, just read this little description box because it always helps. Use this screen to schedule a review that will be available on the ESS, which means Employer Self-Service, pending review screen for completion. So we're going to go ahead and click Save. I've now scheduled my review, and you can see it right down here, June 29th, 2017. I've scheduled my review. Now, to complete the review, to start reviewing the employee, I have to go to Employee Self-Service. So I have to go to a different tab, and I'm going to come down here to where it says Pending Reviews. I'm going to click on that tab. And just to kind of go over the statuses of pending reviews, pending acknowledgement means that the reviewer has completed their portion and they're waiting on the employee to sign or acknowledge their performance evaluation. Not started means the evaluation has not been started at all. And again, pending acknowledgement means you're waiting for that acknowledgement from the employee. So let's find the evaluation that we scheduled, and it's right here. Test employee gave us our date, and it says not started. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one. And then I'm going to come up here and click Start. Again, it's going to take you through the same process. It's going to take you question by question. Should you want to go back, you click Previous to go forward, Next. View. This icon simply means you can have a PDF version of the electronic automated process. So I'm going to go through clicking Next. And when we get to the end, we're going to mark as complete. Again, it's the same process as add review, except scheduling review is something you can do for later in the future, and add review, you can do it right then and there. And you don't have to go to a new tab. So let's go back to employee management. We went over schedule review, we went over add review. The next tab I want to go over is the review history. And this is going to tell you basically what enumerators, coaches, and supervisors you have access to, who has a review, what their status is. It's going to give them the overall rating and the overall total points. Now we also have the option to run performance review reports. And there's 3 reports. So if you go to your reporting tab and you click on Client Reports, and you click on output name, that always puts it in alphabetical order for us. And I scroll down to performance because that's what the report's called. I'll see here I've got 3 reports I can run. The performance review past due, performance reviews completed, and performance reviews scheduled. So let's go ahead and do the performance reviews completed, and I'll show you what that report looks like. So we'll just put the to date or the from date, and I'll just do for the month of June. And this is a date range report, so you can put any date range that you'd like. And I'll click the pay group. If you are a supervisor using a CAPI iPad, you'll need to make sure the format is in PDF. If you are a supervisor or manager and not using a CAPI iPad, you can select to have it in Excel format. I'm going to generate my report, and then I'm going to go to my reports queue. And I've already generated one here earlier today, so I'll go ahead and pull that one up just so we get a view of what that looks like. And I'll move my screen here. And I'm going to make this bigger so we can see what's going on. Okay, so you just basically have different categories here. It tells you the reviewer type, the review title, the employee's name, their number, the reviewer, the supervisor. If the manager conducted it, the manager's name would be there. The review title, the scheduled date, the date it was completed, the status, the overall rating, the points, did the employee acknowledge, yes or no, job title, and their job code. Do realize that the employee can disagree or agree with the evaluation. You're looking forward to make sure that that status says complete and that the knowledge is that they've acknowledged it. Now, whether they agree with it, they don't agree with it, that's a different scenario. But we want to make sure that we're capturing that the status is complete and they have acknowledged the evaluation. So this is we'll complete our training on the NASDA performance review process and iSolved. Please remember, even though this is turning into an automated process, you still need to meet with that employee and go over their evaluation with them, either over the phone or in person, and explain why they were rated the way they were. Thank you so much.